Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Sparkin over Broncos, the show where we spark conversation about our Denver Broncos. I'm your host, Gage Madrid. Now that the NFL free agency period has begun to die down, it is officially draft season Broncos country. Of course, the Seattle Seahawks are in possession of our first two picks in the 2022 draft as a result of the Russell Wilson trade. However, we still do have 10 picks in the draft, including 4 picks in the top 115. Our first pick will come at the very end of the second round, as we are in possession of the 64th overall pick from the Los Angeles Rams thanks to the Von Miller trade. At this spot, I definitely feel like General Manager George Paton is definitely going to be in position to add an impact player to the team. In today's video, I want to discuss a very polarizing player in the 2022 NFL Draft in Georgia linebacker Nakobe Dean. But before we do that, be sure to leave a like on this video, as well as subscribe and ring the notification bell so you don't miss another video. Thank you to every single last one of you who have subscribed already. This channel is growing because Broncos country is the best fan base in the entirety of sports. As I said earlier, Nakobe Dean is a very polarizing prospect. I have seen scouts and analysts give him anywhere from a high first round grade to a low third round grade. Dean is a very young player. He came into Georgia in 2019 as a former 5-star recruit out of Horn Lake High School in Mississippi. As a true freshman in 2019, Dean was still able to post a 25-tackle season despite being hampered by injuries. In his sophomore campaign, Dean broke out, recording 71 total tackles along with 2 TFLs and 1.5 sacks. He then built on that in his junior season last year, recording 72 total tackles along with a career-high 11 TFLs and 6 sacks along with 2 picks to boot. While Dean does bring quite a bit of talent to the table, there are some elements of his game that I worry may not translate well at the NFL level. When you watch Dean play, his athleticism, elusiveness, and agility stick out at you right away. You'll see him flying around all over the place. His abilities as a blitzer are among his greatest asset, especially when he is unblocked. He has really nice acceleration and can zoom in after the quarterback. In 2021, Pro Football Focus ranked Dean the 4th best off-ball linebacker in pass rush last season. Another positive in Dean's game are his abilities in coverage, especially in man. He has displayed ability to hold his own against faster tight ends and slot receivers in man coverage, and I feel that would be one of his primary roles at the NFL level. Pro Football Focus was also a massive fan of his coverage, as he was ranked 7th best in coverage amongst off-ball linebackers. Now I'm sure you're asking yourself, Gage, why is he such a polarizing prospect if he has all of these things going for him? Unfortunately, his size may be a bit of a concern at the NFL level. At the combine, he measured in at just 5'11" and only 229 pounds. That is quite small for an NFL linebacker. If you think back to last year's draft, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah ended up falling all the way down to the Browns at pick 52 last season, partially because teams were concerned about his size, and Nakobe Dean is even smaller than JOK is. The main area where the size concerns could be an issue is in run defense. Although he can use his elusiveness to get around less athletic blockers from time to time, even in college, he would simply get overpowered in the run defense on a pretty consistent basis. Although he did of course play in the SEC, this issue is only going to be even more apparent in the NFL when you're going up against bigger, faster, and stronger competition. It is for mostly this reason that I have legitimate concerns about Nakobe Dean as a true 3-down linebacker in the NFL. That being said, I do feel that he would be able to carve out a nice role for himself as more of a sub-linebacker in nickel and dime packages. In these situations, he would be asked to do the 2 things that he is best at, blitzing and coverage. This is why I feel that Dean could be an interesting fit in Denver. As it currently sits, Josie Jewell and Alex Singleton are penciled in to be our starting off-ball linebackers. Both of these guys are more cloggers up the middle than coverage guys, and Singleton in particular is someone that I really don't trust in coverage, which is where I feel Dean could come in and see significant playing time as a rookie on obvious passing downs. Now the biggest question is, when will Nakobe Dean be drafted? While some team out there may covet him enough to spend a top pick on him, I could see him meeting a similar fate to JOK and end up falling in the draft due to size concerns. While Nakobe Dean falling all the way down to pick 64 seems unlikely, JOK did fall all the way down to pick 52. If Dean were to fall to that same area, I could definitely see George Paton picking up the phone about trading up to get Dean. He could fill a very important role for us and certainly has the athleticism and the will to potentially translate into an impact player for the Denver Broncos. We do have the draft capital to trade up if needed, and if Nakobe Dean begins to fall a la JOK, I could definitely see George Paton potentially looking to pounce. But of course, that is just my opinion. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, Broncos country. I'd love to hear from you. Let's keep this conversation going. Be sure to leave a like on this video, as well as subscribe while you're at it, as it would help me out more than you can even imagine. Also, give me a follow on Twitter at Gage Madrid NFL for more coverage of our Denver Broncos, as well as the NFL in general. And for now, this has been another episode of Sparkin Over Broncos, the show where we spark conversation about our Denver Broncos. I am your host, Gage Madrid, saying peace out.